Hey, let's bring in the BlackMP guys, Darren and DJ. How's it going? Good to see you. How's it going? Well, hey, now the BlackMP. I don't know. It's weird. I think I have a lot of people asking me about it, and then like the next week, I get twice as many people asking me about it. In fact, I just dropped off samples to my neighbor Stella. Hi, Stella.
Hi, Stella.
She's taking it now. She had some health problems, and I'm telling her this will help.
And it will.
Yeah. How's things going with you guys?
You know, it's doing great. We're just, it's been building. We're been out talking a lot, getting ready to do a huge wrestling event this weekend. It's got the state, USA Wrestling, California USA Wrestling, and Rob Valerio, which is just a really great friend of mine that's allowed us to come in there and spread the word and talk to kids about, you know, how to rehydrate and
okay, now kids.
Yeah.
Kids, I have kids of my own. They're young. They're growing. Is this something that the kids could be taking?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because they're not getting it in their food.
No, they're not getting it in their food. And we have talked with a lot of kids, especially young kids, whether they're athletes or not, in high school. And a lot of kids believe they feel okay. You know, they're not used to the food that we got back in the 50s, even talking to my son, they thought that was the way they feel good all the time, but they really, when they start drinking that, it's a whole new level for them. And I always get the questions back as, why do I feel more energy? Why do I feel better? Do I sleep better? And I go, because you've never had the nutrients we did back in the 50s. Big time, yes, absolutely, for kids.
I think every parent wants their kid to be as healthy as possible, and we try to feed our kids as healthy as we can, as best as we can. Get the best things in them. You're blowing my mind, telling me things like apple in 1950, the nutrients that it had in it then compared to an apple now. You have to eat 100 apples or something just to get the nutrients from one apple in 1950.
That's an example.
You eat 100 apples, it'll kill you.
Yeah, it's all the food, Chuck. It's not just apples. That's just an example. So we're not getting what we need that we got even 100 years ago. I mean, even in the 50s, they started studying a lot of this. This is the downpour when we started seeing chemicals started being added to the soils, and we were damming up rivers, and we stopped. You know, really, when Edison turned on the first light switch, back then it was people used wood to burn, and then they'd spread the ashes out in their gardens, grow food. That's where it stopped. That's why we don't see minerals anymore.
I've seen this stuff do some amazing things. I've seen a lady that walked in here. She saw the show, saw how good I was starting to look. She came in. She was hunched over. Her name's Stevie. Hi, Steve. She was bent over like this, and her skin didn't look good, and her eyes didn't look good. And she came back within I'm telling you, 10 days, okay? Standing erect, and she brought a Cambodian man with them. And this man owns the store in her neighborhood, saw how good she looked, came down here and bought us out of all the black water that we had.
Oh, that's great.
He now retails the black water out of his little store over on Belmont.
Yeah. Well, I love to hear stories like that. We hear them all the time. You know, we tell even women, you know, they're always putting all these cosmetics and all these skin creams and care and everything. And I got to tell them, I say, you know what, the beauty really starts on the inside. But you start there's certain minerals that tighten your skin. And even when we age, you know, we start drooping on the skin. But you keep taking the minerals, and you're going to start seeing skin tightening up. There's a lot of warning signs. I try to tell people, you know, if you're going to drink a water, which water is dead now, why don't you just add it, and now you're drinking the living water, and you're going to start seeing all kinds of neat things happen back in your body. Because our bodies are constantly giving us warning signs, even varicose veins, you know, and arthritis, pain. All those are warning signs saying, your body's saying, I need minerals. But we don't know that. You're not going to hear that from doctors and medical profession. You're not going to hear that anywhere else, because a lot of times they don't know about it. You know, we're talking to some of the doctors. They've only been educated 2 hours in the whole time they studied medicine. They're not trying to teach them natural cures, and that's what we're trying to get out is, hey, there's another alternative.
The bottles, every once in a while I might drink down to here for the day. and asked Billy, I keep a bottle inside my office and I fill it up every day with the ones that I don't drink. And then when that gets full, I take it home and I'm using that for my plants at home. Oh my gosh, you should see how these things are growing. Crazy.
Yeah, no, you're adding what plants need. They need fulvic minerals and they need bacteria in order to grow.
In the old days, in the farmers, let's say your plot was like this. You would grow 3 of those quarters every year and let 1 quarter rest, and you would till all your crops down into there, and that would go back into the ground. And they didn't use all the pesticides and the fertilizers and things because they didn't need them because the ground had all this nutrients in it. And now, because they want as much food as they can grown out of that same plot, they do not let that land rest, and then they have to over fertilize, which kills the ground even more.
It's called corporate food. We're controlled by corporations right now, and talking about that, I mean, many conversations with farmers too, that they almost keep them broke, and they want production, and they want the perfect looking apple and the perfect looking orange, and a lot of that's GMOs, which is genetically modified organisms, and that's coming from Monsanto. And what we need to get back to, and hopefully one of these days Whole Foods will step up to it and start going after certain farmers to grow the really high nutrient rich soil, so we get that back in our food, and tell us which ones they are. And if somebody does, and people are going to pay more for it, and it's worth every penny. But right now, even in organic food, the nutrients aren't there.
You're an ex-football player.
Mm-hmm.
You played for Los Angeles Rams.
Yes, I did.
What was your position?
Well, I was a tight end, but I was called as what they called a nickelback. It was Sid Gilman's offense, who I played for at the USFL. It taught me that. And it was so funny that when the USFL actually folded, I got picked up by the Rams, and that was the year that they introduced that offense, and nobody got it. I was the only one to figure. I knew that offense. And then
so what, you drop back, screen, and take off? Or?
No, I was in the backfield, and then I had to block or release. I always got called on third downs. Eric Dickerson came out, I went in, and it was like, catch the ball. And I did. I loved
So you got to watch. You got to laying on the ground watching Dickerson run by you?
No, that's just very red, and they took Dickerson out because they wanted to give him a rest anyway. But
so a lot of talk in the NFL about the concussions and all that kind of stuff. Did Blackwater help with that?
Absolutely, traumatic encephalopathy. And if you really look, the guy that discovered this years ago, about 20 years ago, was talking about even to this day that encephalopathy is caused by traumatic. They're called chronic traumatics. Bang, bang, bang. Look, you can hit your head 15 times or 1,500 times a year. That's just like this. Little small bangs is little bitty concussions. And what encephalopathy really is an inflammation of the brain. But fulvic is getting past the brain-blood barrier and getting those driving nutrients in your brain, and the fulvic is cleaning out the inflammation in your brain. That's why it works so good. This is why I'm really excited that a lot of these NFL ball players are already seeing their life get back. And, getting them on that is just the beginning. When a lot of them have arthritis, really bad arthritis, and that's starting to go away. Their energy levels are coming up. And what's so neat about it, this is dementia, Alzheimer's, it's the same thing. Encephalopathy is trapped inflammation in your brain. And I'm excited because I can sit here and have a conversation with you. A year ago, I could not talk to you because I'd forget what I'm talking about.
I'm 8 days away from my 1-year anniversary of my 3 strokes. And I got to tell you, I feel like I'm in my 30s.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's gonna, the longer you're on it, Chuck, I'm telling you, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, it just gets better and better. You're finally, your body's repairing itself. It takes a while. We've been off of this, 30, 40 years, and our bodies are just now getting something it hasn't had in 30 or 40 years. And you're starting to see, it's not an overnight deal, but it's a slow, gradual, from energy to whatever problems you have. That's what minerals and probiotics do for your body.
Yeah. I know you've had to have heard this before. We haven't talked about it before, but I have heard people say that they get it and they drink it really fast and they get like a rush.
A flush, yeah.
Yeah, and I had someone say, yeah, I don't think I should be drinking this. And I said, well, why? Well, because I drink a whole bottle at once.
Yeah.
I go, you drink a whole bottle at once of it? Well, yeah, you're rushing your body to something that it hasn't had in a long time.
And it's not
freaking
bad for
out.
them. It's good for them. I mean, I don't know how many times we've given it to people that were, pasty ghost looking, and they chug the bottle, and then about 5 minutes later, they're getting color back in their face. There's a reason for that. Their blood, it's an electrical charge. Your cells have to have this every day. You keep replenishing, and those cells are electrically charged. There's where you're getting your energy from. And this isn't, a couple of days feel good and then you go back. It's not that roller coaster ride. It's for sure. It's a gradual climb.
It's not that energy drink sugar rush.
And it doesn't stop. It just gets better and better.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys, you want your black water? You can come on down the corner of Olive and Van Ness at Central Valley Talk Studios and pick up some. You will have never felt better before, I promise. Darren, always good to see you, buddy. DJ, good to see you, pal. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break.